The elevator jerks to a stop, so hard my shoulder slams into the mirrored wall. The lights flicker. Someone behind me swears. My phone buzzes in my hand, unknown number. Again. And again. I step out before the doors fully open, heels striking marble, heart already sprinting like it knows something I don't. The glamorous hall's doors burst open in front of me. Music spills out, sharp violin notes cutting through laughter, glasses clinking, cameras flashing like lightning, Darius walking closely behind me, protectively. Then I see them. Naomi freezes mid-laugh, red wine halfway to her lips. Caleb's hand tightens around his champagne flute. His knuckles go white. The glass slips. Shatters. The sound cuts through the party noise like a gunshot. Every head turns. Not at him. At me. At the man beside me. Darius leans close, voice low, steady, dangerous calm. Do you want to leave? My throat burns. My chest feels like it's folding inward. Across the room, Naomi's eyes lock onto mine. Wide. Disbelieving. Furious. Scared. Caleb looks like someone just pulled the oxygen out of the air. I swallow. No. I whisper. Tonight, I will stay. Darius nods once, slow, like we just signed a contract with fate. Camera flashes explode around us. Someone whispers behind me, loud enough to carry. Is that Darius Hale? Yeah. Hale Vector, the Carter and Voss acquisition. My pulse spikes. Caleb hears it too. His jaw flexes. Good. Let him feel something crack for once. The event host taps the mic, voice booming. Welcome, everyone, to the Meridian Foundation Annual Gala. But I barely hear him, because Naomi is already walking toward me. And suddenly, 3 years collapses into one violent memory. My mind takes me back to the beginning of a huge mess. Pictures from 3 years ago flood my memory like a Netflix movie. Rain hammering windows. Stairs under my feet because the elevator was broken. My keys slipped from my fingers because my hands wouldn't stop shaking. My apartment door is half open. Voices inside. Her voice. His voice. Naomi laughing softly. Caleb saying, after the wedding, she won't notice. I remember standing there, rain soaking through my blazer, shoes dripping on hardwood floors, heart pounding so hard I thought they'd hear it before they saw me. Back on the rooftop, Naomi stops 2 feet away from me. Her perfume hits me first. Jasmine and something sharp. Something fake sweet. Cassie, she says, like we're old classmates, not wreckage survivors. Wow. You look incredible. My stomach twists. Hi, Naomi. Her eyes flick to Darius. Assessing. Calculating. And you must be? Darius, he says simply. No smile. No offer to shake. She extends her hand anyway. He doesn't take it. Pattern break. She laughs like it doesn't matter. It matters. Oh, she says. You're the tech acquisition guy. I build companies, he replies. The air between them tightens like piano wire. Caleb steps aside, gestures awkwardly, and steps closer. Cassie, I didn't know you were coming tonight. You didn't ask. Naomi cuts in, voice syrup sweet. We heard you've been busy. Still married to work. There it is. The old knife. I open my mouth, but Darius beats me to it. She designs structures people will live inside for generations, he says calmly. That's not marriage. That's a life. Silence. Thick. Electric. Naomi's smile cracks for half a second. And God help me, it feels good. The gala host calls for attention again, but my mind is already sliding backward. Back to that night. Back to the moment everything ended. The storm had knocked out half the city grid. The hallway outside my apartment smelled like wet concrete and electricity. I remember pushing the door open slowly. They were sitting on my couch. Too close. Flirting with their eyes locked into each other. Not touching. But leaning in like gravity belonged to them alone. Naomi's hand was on his lap. Caleb was saying, we just have to get through the wedding. And then I stepped inside. Then Naomi turned. And her face. God. Shock. Then guilt. Then something worse. Calculation. I didn't scream, didn't cry, didn't throw anything. I walked to the table, slid my engagement ring off, set it down. The sound of metal on glass was louder than thunder. 5 minutes, I said. I don't want to see you when I come out. Back on the rooftop, Naomi shifts closer to me. Can we talk? She murmurs. No. Flat. Immediate. Her eyes flash. Caleb looks like he wants to disappear into the marble floor. The auction starts. Voices rise. Paddles lift. Money moves like oxygen here. Darius leans toward me. You okay? No, I whisper. But I will be. He nods like that's enough. Like I'm enough. And that almost breaks me. 3 years ago, after they left that night, I locked myself in my bathroom. Sat on the tile floor. Still holding my phone. Still waiting for it to be a mistake. It wasn't. The next morning, my wedding planner called asking about floral color revisions. I canceled everything in under 4 minutes. Back on the rooftop, the auction heats up. A honeymoon package hits the screen. Private villas. 5 countries. Ocean sunsets. The bidding explodes. Darius doesn't move. Then Naomi laughs softly beside me. Caleb and I were thinking of something like that. Something in my chest tightens. Then, Darius lifts his paddle. 30,000. The room turns. Naomi's smile freezes. Caleb goes pale. Another bidder counters. Darius doesn't hesitate. 45. My pulse is screaming now. Darius. Trust me, he murmurs. Another bidder drops out. Final call. Sold. Applause. Then he turns to me, cups my face like nothing else exists, and kisses me. And when he pulls back, he says quietly, some things are worth fighting for. Naomi's wine glass trembles in her hand. Good. Because she should know what she lost. After that night, everything fell apart fast. Carter and Voss quietly started blocking my firm from smaller contracts. Naomi posted engagement photos 6 weeks later. I stopped sleeping. Stopped eating. Started working like pain was fuel. Dr. Arcos told me during one session, you didn't just lose a fiancé. You lost the person who knew every version of you. I cried so hard I had to live on painkillers for a while. Back in the present, Naomi touches my arm suddenly. I need to talk to you. Alone. No. Please. There's something in her voice now. Desperation. Fear. Curiosity curls through me like smoke. Darius watches me. Waiting. I sigh. 5 minutes. Naomi exhales like she's been underwater. We move toward the service corridor. The music fades behind us. The hallway smells like detergent and cold air. She turns to me, and for the first time in 3 years, she looks small. I messed up, she says. I say nothing. Caleb isn't what I thought. He's angry all the time. He hates that your career took off. Wait. What? He talks about you like you were competition, she whispers. Something ugly twists in my chest. And you stayed? I ask. Her eyes fill. I thought if I win him, I'd finally feel chosen. The words hit harder than I expected. I swallow. You didn't lose me in one night. I say quietly. You lost me in 1,000 moments. You chose yourself over us. She starts crying. I don't comfort her. I don't hate her either. And somehow that feels like freedom. My phone buzzes in my pocket. Unknown number again. I check it. A text. You don't know everything about Darius. My blood goes cold. I look up. Naomi looks pale. The music swells back through the walls. Somewhere outside, people are laughing. And suddenly I have a terrifying feeling. This night isn't over. Not even close. If you're feeling this story, if you're already asking questions, if you want to know what happens next, go ahead and support the channel right now. Like this video. Drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. Share this with someone who loves intense stories. And subscribe, because this only gets wilder from here. My fingers go numb around my phone. You don't know everything about Darius. 3 dots appear. Disappear. Appear again. My pulse is hammering so loud I can barely hear Naomi still talking in front of me. He's not the same person I thought he was, Cassie. Caleb is angry all the time, and who sent this? I whisper, barely realizing I spoke out loud. Naomi frowns. What? I lock my phone and slide it into my clutch. Nothing.
Lie.
Big lie. My skin feels too tight. My chest feels like it's shrinking. Because suddenly, I'm back in my apartment 3 years ago, standing in a room that used to feel safe, realizing I didn't know the two people I trusted most. I will not do this again. I straighten my shoulders. Naomi, I say, voice steady now, cold and clean. I hope you figure your life out, but it's not my job anymore. Her face crumples. Do you hate me? I really looked at her this time. 20 years ago, we clicked in our high school's cafeteria. Naomi was the closest person to me after my mom from that day. We shared almost every memory I ever remember of my teenage age together. She was with me when I lost my mom to cancer, wept and mourned with me. Even more, like she loved my mother like her own. How did I lose my friendship of that long? For some time, I thought I was the problem. We graduated from the same college in Southampton. I found myself in corporate life. She chose fashion and photography. Naomi was more than a best friend until... Do you hate me now? She asks again. I shake my head slowly.
No.
I outgrew you. That lands harder than any insult. I walk away.
Fast.
Before my voice cracks.
Before my chest caves in.
Before that text message turns into panic. When I step back into the ballroom, the lights feel brighter, louder, sharper. Darius is exactly where I left him, talking to an older donor couple. The second he sees my face, he excuses himself. He doesn't touch me right away. Just search my eyes. What happened? I hesitate. I got a message, I say quietly. His jaw tightens. Just slightly. If I didn't know him, I'd miss it. What kind of message? I pull out my phone. Show him. He reads it. His expression doesn't change. And somehow that's worse. Do you know who sent it? I ask.
No.
Too fast. Not defensive. Just controlled. Like he expected this someday. My stomach drops. Darius, I whisper. Is there something I should know? His eyes soften. Then harden. Then he says, very quietly, not here.
Wait.
What? The auction host starts announcing the next item. People clap. Someone laughs too loud. And suddenly, I feel like I'm standing in the middle of a stage play where I don't know the script. Let's leave, he says. But the event, Cassie. The way he says my name makes my spine straighten. Urgent. Controlled panic under steel. I nod. We move toward the exit fast, weaving through guests and servers and press. Halfway to the elevators. Leaving already? Caleb's voice cuts through the air. I close my eyes for 1 second.
Turn.
He's standing 10 feet away, tie loosened, jaw tight, eyes slightly glassy, like he's been drinking too fast. Big night for you, he says, nodding toward Darius. Must feel good. Darius doesn't react. Doesn't engage. Which somehow makes Caleb angrier. You think you won? Caleb says suddenly, voice dropping low. You think taking my client makes you king of the world?
Wait.
I freeze. Taking his client? Darius steps forward, voice calm. This isn't the place. No, Caleb snaps. You don't get to walk into my life and... your life. I cut in, sharp. You lost the right to use that phrase 3 years ago. His eyes flick to me.
Pain.
Anger. Regret.
Pride.
All mixed into something ugly. You don't know him, Caleb says quietly. My heart stutters. What is that supposed to mean? He laughs once. Bitter. Ask him why he really wanted Carter and Voss. The air between us goes electric. I look at Darius. He's watching Caleb like a man watching a ticking bomb. Walk away, Darius says quietly. Caleb leans closer to me. He knew you were connected to us before the deal even started, he whispers. My ears ring. What? I breathe. Darius's voice cuts in, sharp. That's enough. Security starts drifting closer, sensing tension. Caleb steps back, smiling like he just dropped a grenade. Ask him, he says. Ask him when he first heard your name. Then he walks away. And suddenly the room feels 10 degrees colder. I turn slowly toward Darius. Say something. Silence. Not long, but long enough. My chest caves in. Darius? He exhales slowly, like he's been holding his breath for months. I didn't target the firm because of you, he says. Not what I wanted to hear. Ice crawls up my spine. When? I whisper. When did you know my name? He closes his eyes for 1 second. Then, before we met, the floor drops out from under me.
How?
Margaret. My brain scrambles. My senior partner, Margaret? She's my aunt.
Wait.
Wait.
What?
She told me about a rising project director who got screwed over by Carter and Voss politics, he says quietly. I didn't know it was you. Not at first. My heart is pounding so hard I feel sick. Not at first. I connected the dots later. When? He hesitates. After our second date. The hallway noise fades. The music fades. The world fades. You should have told me. I was going to. When? I didn't know how. Anger explodes in my chest, hot and violent and terrifying. I told you everything, I say, voice shaking. I told you about the worst night of my life. I know. And you just sat there? Knowing you were about to destroy his career? I wasn't destroying his career. You bought out his biggest client. He was already losing them. That's not the point.
People are staring now.
I don't care. Because suddenly I feel like I'm standing in 2 timelines at once. 3 years ago, blindsided, betrayed. Tonight, blindsided again. Did you ever plan to tell me? I ask, voice smaller now. Yes. When? His silence is answer enough. Something inside me cracks. I need air, I whisper. I turn, walk fast. Ignore him calling my name. Push through the doors to the balcony. Cold night air slams into me. The city stretches out below like a living thing.
Breathe.
I grip the railing. Footsteps behind me. I should have told you sooner, he says quietly. I don't turn. Did you ever use me? I ask. The question hangs there. Terrifying.
No.
Too fast again. But this time it sounds honest. I liked you before I knew your story, he says. Before I connected anything. The cafe blackout? That was real. Every date.
Real.
Every moment. Real. Tears burn behind my eyes. I can't survive another lie, I whisper. I know. Silence stretches between us. Then, my phone buzzes again. Unknown number. New message. Check the email I just sent you. Then decide if you trust him. My stomach drops into my shoes. I open my email. New message. No subject. 1 attachment. My fingers shake as I open it. Corporate acquisition timeline. Meeting minutes and dates. Strategy memos. And there. Highlighted. My name. Referenced. Before we met. Before the cafe. Before everything. My chest stops working. I turn slowly toward Darius. He looks scared. And I realize something horrifying. I don't know if I'm about to lose him. Or if I ever really had him. The phone won't stop shaking in my hands. Not because of the wind. Because of what I'm looking at. My name. Buried in acquisition prep notes. Weeks before he smiled at me over burnt espresso and broken lights. I can hear my heartbeat in my ears.
Loud. Wrong.
I lift my eyes slowly. Darius isn't moving. He's not reaching for me. Not talking. Just watching me like I'm holding a weapon. Say something, I whisper. His jaw tightens. It's not what you think. The oldest line in human history. My laugh comes out sharp and ugly. You don't get to say that. Not to me. I shove the phone toward him. You had meetings where I was discussed. Yes. No hesitation. That almost hurts more. But not like that. Then how? My voice cracks. How is my name in your strategy documents, Darius? He scrubs a hand over his face. I've never seen him look this human. This imperfect. This close to breaking. Because Carter and Voss flagged you, he says. I blink. What? They blacklisted North Ardent from 2 minor infrastructure bids. My analysts flagged it because it didn't make financial sense. Your name came up as project lead. It looked like internal politics. I asked questions. The city wind cuts between us. I swallow. And I was told you worked collateral damage. My stomach twists. Collateral damage. Like I was a cracked tile in someone else's floor plan. I didn't know your history with them, he says. Not then. I stare at the PDF again. There it is. A note in the margin. Potential leverage via project leadership conflicts. My chest tightens. Leverage? That wasn't my wording, he says quickly. That was one of my strategy VPs. But you approved it. Silence. Not guilt. Not exactly. But not clean either. My throat burns. I told you about the worst betrayal of my life, and you knew you were circling the same people. I didn't connect it to you, he says quietly. Not until after date 2. When you said his name. The memory slams into me. The street taco place. Me laughing nervously. His name was Caleb Rowan. Darius going very still for half a second. I thought it was nothing. It wasn't nothing. You should have told me then, I whisper. I was afraid you'd think exactly what you're thinking right now. Which is, that I built my business strategy around your pain. I don't answer. Because I don't know if that's true. Or if I'm just terrified it could be. Behind us, the rooftop doors open. Footsteps. I turn. Naomi. Mascara slightly smudged. Lipstick half gone. Eyes wild. She looks between us. Then at my phone. Oh, she says softly. You saw. Ice slides down my spine. You sent this? I ask. She nods. Rage flares hot and fast. Why? Because you deserve the whole truth, she says. Darius steps forward. You don't get to. Did you know? Naomi snaps. Did you know he fast-tracked the acquisition timeline after confirming it was Caleb's division? My stomach drops. I look at Darius. His silence is loud. Very loud. Answer me, I say, voice low. Yes, he says quietly. The word detonates inside my chest. But not because of revenge, he says quickly. Because Carter and Voss was already collapsing under bad leadership. The client was going to walk. I moved faster to secure the deal. That's it. That's it. Naomi laughs, hysterical. You destroyed his promotion track. He destroyed his own career. Darius snaps. By choosing ego over performance. The tension snaps tight. I step back from both of them. I suddenly feel like I'm standing between 2 fires. Naomi turns to me, voice breaking. He ruined us. Financially. Emotionally. Everything is falling apart.
Wait.
What do you mean financially? I ask slowly. She hesitates. My stomach sinks. Naomi. She swallows. Caleb leveraged future bonus projections to secure private loans. My brain short-circuits. He what? He thought the client contract was guaranteed, she whispers. When the acquisition happened, everything collapsed. Oh my God. Oh my God. I press my hand to my mouth. You're telling me you're in debt because of corporate speculation? She nods, crying now. And he blames you, she says. He says if you hadn't left him, he would have been more focused, more stable, more. My chest floods with cold anger. He's still rewriting history, I say quietly. Naomi laughs through tears. He always does. Silence falls again. Heavy. Complicated. Ugly. Then Naomi looks at me. Really looks. And whispers, he still talks about you like you were the one that got away. I feel nothing. Not satisfaction. Not sadness. Just distance. I wasn't something to win. I say quietly. I was someone to protect. Naomi closes her eyes. I know. She turns to Darius. You think you won, but you don't know what he's capable of when he feels cornered. My pulse spikes. What is that supposed to mean? Darius says, voice sharp. Naomi hesitates. Too long. Fear crawls up my spine. Naomi, I say slowly. What did Caleb do? She looks at me, then at the city lights, then whispers, "He's been trying to find something on Hail Vector for months." The air leaves my lungs. "Define something," Darius says. "Regulatory, financial, personal, anything he can leak to damage your stock value." My stomach flips. "That's corporate suicide," I say. Naomi nods. He's not thinking rationally anymore. My phone buzzes again. Unknown number. New message. "You should ask Darius about the Singapore server transfer." My blood runs cold. I look at him. He looks genuinely confused. "Do you know what that is?" I ask.
No.
And this time, I believe him. Fear settles in my bones. Because if he's telling the truth, then someone else is playing a much bigger game. Wind howls across the rooftop. Sirens wail somewhere in the city below. And suddenly I realize something that makes my skin crawl. This isn't about revenge anymore. This is about destruction. Naomi steps back slowly. "I shouldn't have come tonight." "No," I say quietly. "You should have come sooner." She nods once, then leaves. The rooftop doors slam shut behind her. I turn to Darius. "We have a bigger problem." His eyes are already scanning the skyline like he's mapping threats. "Yeah," he says quietly. "We do." My phone buzzes again. Unknown number. My hands start shaking again. If your heart is pounding right now, don't look away. Like the video. Comment where you're watching from. Share this with someone who loves high-stakes drama. And subscribe, because the final part is about to hit harder than anything you've seen yet.
TikTok.
The words sit on my screen like a countdown I didn't agree to. I didn't breathe for a second. Then another. Then I lock my phone slowly, like if I move too fast something will explode. The city noise rushes back in. Traffic below, wind cutting across the rooftop, distant music from the ballroom like another universe, where people still believe life is simple. Darius is watching me. Not like a businessman. Not like a strategist. Like a man who knows something is coming and hates that he can't stop it yet. "Okay," he says quietly. "No more half-truths. No more delays. You ask me anything, I answer." My chest tightens. "Did you ever target Caleb because of me?"
No.
No pause. No hesitation. I searched his face. Nothing slippery. Nothing hidden. Just exhaustion and something raw.
Fear.
"Did you move faster on the acquisition after you knew who he was to me?" He exhales slowly. "Yes." The honesty hits harder than a lie would have.
Why?
"Because I knew what kind of man he was," he says. "And I didn't want him to have leverage over you. Not professionally. Not ever." My brain stutters. "That is not the answer I expected." "That wasn't your decision to make," I say quietly. "I know." Silence. Wind whips my hair across my face. "I'm sorry," he adds softer. And something in my chest shifts. Not forgiveness. Not yet. But something. My phone buzzes again. Unknown number. New message. Check the news.
Now.
My stomach drops. I open the news app. Top-breaking headline flashes. Regulatory review announced into Hail Vector international data transfers. My blood turns to ice. "Darius," I whisper. He's already pulling out his phone. Scrolling fast. His jaw tightens. "That's impossible," he mutters. Another headline pops up. Anonymous source claims offshore server activity may violate trade compliance frameworks. My knees go weak. "Singapore server," I whisper. His head snaps toward me. "Show me." I showed him the message. For the first time since I've known him, real fear hits his eyes. "Someone's trying to trigger a regulatory freeze," he says quietly. "What does that mean?" "It means if they push hard enough, they can freeze our international operations during investigation." "How bad is that?" "Worst case." He swallows. "Stock crash. Investor panic. Hostile takeover attempts." "Oh my God. Could Caleb do this?" I ask. Darius shakes his head slowly. "Not alone." Cold dread spreads through my chest. "So, who?" Before he can answer, the office doors slam open again. Margaret. My senior partner.
His aunt.
She looks like she ran here. Cassie, she says, breathless. Darius, you need to come downstairs.
Now.
What happened? Darius asks. The board is calling emergency sessions. And she stops. Looks at me. Someone leaked internal emails. My stomach flips violently. What emails? She hesitates. Then, emails referencing North Ardent Project collaborations. My vision blurs. They're trying to connect me to corporate influence and insider information trading, I whisper. Darius's hands curl into fists. This is coordinated, he says. Margaret nods grimly.
Yes.
And whoever is doing it knows exactly where to apply pressure. My phone buzzes again. Unknown number. New message. You should have stayed with Caleb. Life would have been simpler. Rage explodes through me. Hot. Violent.
Clear.
I type back before I can stop myself. Who is this? 3 dots appear instantly. Then, someone who knows how fragile your new life really is. My hands shake. But I don't drop the phone.
Not this time.
I lift my chin. We don't run. I say quietly. Darius looks at me. Really looks. And nods once.
Yeah, he says.
We don't. Downstairs, the ballroom energy is different now. Phones out. Whispers spreading. News alerts lighting faces blue. I catch fragments as we move. Regulatory violations. Market reaction expected Monday. Investor confidence. Someone snaps a photo of Darius. Another flash. Another. This is war now. We move fast through the crowd toward a private conference room. Inside, 3 of Darius's executives are already on speaker with legal teams. Words fly. Containment. Regulatory cooperation. Internal audit. Then one of the analysts says something that makes the room go silent. The leak originated from inside a contracted partner network. My chest tightens. Which partner? Darius asks. Silence. Then, Carter and Voss legacy data access channels. My pulse roars in my ears. I close my eyes. Of course. Of course. Darius looks at me, not with blame. With calculation. With access still live, he asks. Yes, the analyst says. Some legacy shared server bridges weren't fully decommissioned. My stomach twists. So, someone piggybacked old access? I whisper. Yes, Margaret says quietly. And they waited until now to use it. Strategic. Patient. Personal. My phone buzzes again. Unknown number. You always underestimated how patient we could be.
We.
Cold dread floods my veins. There's more than one person, I whisper. Darius nods grimly. Yeah. Another message. Check your old email. The one you haven't opened in years. My breath catches. I open my old archived inbox. Scroll. Then, a scheduled email draft.
Saved.
Never sent. From Naomi. Dated 3 years ago. Subject line. I'm sorry, but he won't stop. My hands start shaking violently. I opened it. Inside. Cassie, if you're reading this, something went wrong. Caleb isn't just angry about losing you. He's obsessed with winning.
He talks about leverage.
About waiting. About making sure people feel losses slowly. I thought it was just talk. I'm starting to think it isn't. I don't know who else he's talking to. I don't know what he's planning. I'm scared. I'm so sorry. The room spins. I lower the phone slowly. Darius is watching my face. What? He asks quietly. My voice barely works. This didn't start tonight. The realization hits like a freight train. This has been building. For years.
Carefully. Quietly.
And suddenly, something inside me goes very, very still. Not fear. Not panic.
Clarity.
He wanted us to find this. I say slowly. Darius frowns.
Why?
Because he wants us scared. I say. Distracted. Reacting. Silence. Then Darius nods slowly. Then we stop reacting, he says. Margaret leans forward. What are you thinking? I look at all of them. And for the first time tonight, I don't feel like prey. I think, I say quietly, We find out who we is before they make their next move. My phone buzzes one last time. Unknown number. This was only the opening move. I stare at it. Then I type back.
Then you should know something. Pause.
3 dots. I finish typing. I don't break twice. I hit send. And for the first time tonight, I smile. If you made it all the way here, you already know this story isn't just about betrayal. It's about survival. So go ahead, like this video, comment where you're watching from, share this story with someone who needs a reminder that survival is power, and subscribe because the next story will hit even deeper.